generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, his marvelous light.
Today is the 13th Sunday in ordinary time of the year. The church presents us with a gospel reading that marks the climax of the missionary discussion of Jesus Christ with his apostles. We are in Matthew chapter 10, from verse 37 to 42. Of course, we know that the Gospel of Matthew is divided into 5 sections. The first part of the Gospel of Matthew is known as the Discourse on the Mountain, from chapter 5 to chapter 7. The second part is known as the Missionary Discourse, chapter 10. The third part is known as the Discourse of the Parables in chapter 13. Matthew listed 7 parables. The fourth part is known as Ecclesiological Discourse, the discourse about the church in Matthew chapter 18. And the last part is known as the Discourse on the Last Judgment in Matthew chapter 25. Matthew structured his gospel in this way to adopt the style of the first 5 books of Moses, Torah, and to allow us also to know that the gospel is a continuation of the Old Testament message that God proclaimed through the patriarchs and also through the lawgivers, especially Moses. In the gospel reading today, Matthew brings to conclusion the instruction Jesus gave to the 12 apostles when he sent them out to go and preach. Last Sunday we had when he re-established for 3 times, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, and concluded it with informing them they are precious more than the sparrows. In this Sunday, Jesus tells the disciples, if anybody loves father and mother above me, he's not worthy to be my disciple. In verse 37a. In verse 37b, he says, if anybody loves son or daughter above me, he's not worthy to be my disciple. And in verse 38, he says it in a very conclusive way. If you want to be my disciple, take up your cross and follow me. Anybody who is not able to take his cross and follow me is not worthy to be my disciple. We notice in these first 3 expressions that the accent is on being worthy to be a disciple of Jesus Christ. And this is very important for us today. Matthew repeated it 3 times to allow us to know where the emphasis lies. And this expression, being worthy, the word that Matthew uses is the Greek word asios. Asios is a word that designates both being adequate and also being suitable for something. So, Jesus informs the disciples, if you are not able to love me above your father and mother, you are not suitable for me. Above your sons and daughters, you are not suitable for me. Above everyone who may be attached to you, you are not suitable to follow me, to be my disciple. It is interesting to know that in this loving father, mother, loving son, daughter, Matthew uses the word philos in Greek language, which is a Greek word that signifies friendly love. This is important for us because here we are not only emphasizing love of the immediate family, but every affection that has to do with the old, every affection that links me to the future, and every affection that links me to the present life, that takes me away from Jesus Christ, may block also my worthiness from becoming a disciple. For us to understand this emphasis on being worthy and loving Jesus above every other thing, we must bring the gospel to the context of Matthew in the first century. When Matthew was writing to his community in the first century, Christians were undergoing severe persecutions. In the Greek language, the Christians were considered as Nazarenes. That's those who are following Jesus the Nazarene. And they were counted among the apostates and the heretics of the Jewish religion. So that all the various forms of curses and the bad images that heretics and apostates accumulated in the Hebrew tradition were also addressed to Christians themselves. To give us example, in the Jewish 18 benedictions, there is a prayer that contains 18 benedictions that the Jewish people recite 3 times every day, standing up to recite it, facing the temple. In these 18 benedictions, in the first century, the rabbis added in the 12th benediction a curse to all heretics, minims, a curse to all Nazarenes. And they said it emphatically that their names will be blotted out. This is a prayer they say 3 times a day, that the names of all Nazarenes, the names of all heretics, minims, be blotted out from the book of life. To allow us to know the level of hatred that Christians were subjected to in the first century. So because of this level of hatred and rejection, Christians were battling before between their immediate family, the love they have for their parents and their brothers and their sisters and their children, and the love they should also have for Jesus Christ. Because once you become a believer, you are driven out of the house. The fear of being driven out debarred a lot of people from joining the Christian faith. And some others who were afraid also tried to deny their faith because of the pain of not being able to enter the synagogue again, becoming an enemy to your family members, and being driven away from social gatherings, and people praying against you every day, raining curses upon you just because you have become a Christian. It is in this context that Jesus informs the apostles, if you love your father and mother above me, you are not worthy to be my disciple. If you love your son and daughter above me, you are not worthy to be my disciple. If you can't take the cross that is meted out to you because you believe in me, humiliation, insult of various kinds, you cannot be my disciple. But then, apart from this immediate connection to our families, father, mother, son, daughter, the expression here also makes reference to other extended affections that has the image of the father and the mother. Here, the image of the father and mother refers to all old affections that can debar one from becoming a disciple. Titles we have in the past, various positions given to us in traditional religions. I remember once in my diocese, there was this ban against taking Ozo title. And all those who had taken it before the ban were constrained to renounce it to receive Jesus Christ. And a lot of Christians were ready to hold on to Ozo title instead of coming to church to receive Holy Communion. This being attached to old affections. A lot of people also, a lot of Christians today don't have a good relationship with Jesus Christ because somebody offended them in the past. There are many relationships, maybe one had engaged in the past, that brought pains, tortures to the heart, wounds, And because of this incapacity to forgive and let go, one continues to live in the past. One continues to live with old wounds and pains. And such pains, they bring one out of the Christian community and keep you away from Jesus Christ. So when the Lord says, if you love father and mother above me, He's also referring to every other affection of the past that can block my entrance into the community of the faithful. A lot of things in the past that may have created a chasm between me and my God. It is time for me to recognize that Jesus should be loved above all of them, renouncing those that should be renounced, forgiving those that should be forgiven, allowing some wounds of affection to be healed in order to become one with Him. The second expression, if you love your son or your daughter more than me, apart from immediate connection to son and daughter, it also relates to future trajectories, the things we look ahead to have. A lot of people today may, because of their future aspirations and dreams, go away from the community of the faithful. The Lord is saying, anything you project in the future that takes you away from me makes you unworthy to be my disciple. I want to be an aspirant to a particular political office, to a particular administrative office. And for me to enter into that office, I must take away some of my good time to be with all those people who have been in that office and also to mingle with them in the various ways they live their lives. And because of that, that desire and that aspiration, I'm taking out of the Christian community. I'm even not receive communion, not go to confession again in order to be a friend to a particular person and also get into a particular office or get into a particular position. Such aspirations, when they block my entrance into the community of the faithful, my relationship with Jesus Christ, they function like loving son and daughter above Him. So the Lord informs us to allow the love of Him to supersede every other affection and love we may have. So if you look at these three expressions today, they cover the past, they cover the future, they take care of the present. If you love father more than me, it's referring to all past affections. If you love your son and daughter more than me, referring to all future affections. If you don't carry a cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple. It's referring to the present condition of life. So with these three expressions, Matthew enrolls a Christian who wants to be a follower of Jesus Christ into the demands of discipleship. Everything about the past, everything about the future, everything about the present should be submitted below the love we have for Jesus Christ. The love of Jesus Christ should control all of them, the way I feel, the way I deal with others, and the way I relate with them. After these three instructions, Jesus also brought in the final expression that prepares the disciples to understand how great is their reward. He said, if anyone receives you, the person has also received me. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 40. And anybody who receives me receives the Father who sent me. So reception of the disciples, messengers of Jesus Christ, is just like receiving Jesus himself. The same word that in Greek language is used for the disciple is also used for Jesus and the Father and the reception of the prophets. You see, this word that marks reception in Greek language, dekomai, is a word that does not only refer to simple hospitality, but a word that also marks to acceptance of the person's way of life. Receiving a disciple means adhering to his way of life, accepting his way of life, the way he proclaims the gospel and the way he lives it out. It's also the same thing as looking forward to receive the same reward that the disciple is aspiring to receive. So reception here involves acceptance of the prophet in his physical structure, acceptance of the teachings that the Lord has commanded him to proclaim, acceptance of also the reward that awaits the prophet. Because that's why he said, if you receive a prophet, because he is a prophet, you receive a prophet's reward. With this emphasis, the Lord heightens the reward that awaits every good disciple. And that's why when he tells us to love him above every other thing, it's because the reward that we are going to have at the end of our earthly journey is above every other thing you can imagine. And anybody who identifies with you, who receives your message, who acknowledges the power in you, and walks and lives the way you are living, and also helps you to go on in proclaiming the message, the person also receives the same great reward that the Lord has assured his people. On this note, my beloved ones, I invite you to intensify your adherence, your commitment to Jesus Christ, trying to understand his teaching, live as he has commanded us to live, identify with all men with good hearts, prophets, good people, support them in their lives as good men and women, and also help them to realize the kingdom of God as Jesus has instructed us here on earth. May the peace of the Lord be with you, and may the Lord grant you your good heart desires. Be blessed.
You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, his marvelous light.